Hello guys and welcome to round 5 of the Simpit GT World Challenge Season 3 powered by Sim Racing GP. The guys are currently out on track in free practice, but unfortunately for them it is currently raining at the circuit. Rain is due to die off in the next 30 minutes, so it should be dry, but maybe some wet spots just in qualifying. But we'll head over to the track and see how everyone's getting on in the wet. But it's going to throw some spanners in the works with setups, so let's go over and see how everyone's getting on. So as we see, it is unfortunately a very wet circuit out here today. Drivers are not going to like that at the moment, but it is going to dry up over the next half hour in the game. So the time we get into free practice, what is just 10 minutes away, track should be dry. So we'll see how everyone is going. Again guys, if you are in chat, come say hello. Always welcome to say hi and see how everyone is doing. I have all my information screens running, so we have full race control apps. So we will know if any contact happens between any drivers. And also change our camera angles whenever we want to. So at the moment we have Mr. Kenneth, Celine Witcher, Stefan Mccaffrey, Alex Lafros, Heike Sherman and Jarosław Galkov with us, hoping for a few more of our drivers to show. Celine Witcher puts in the fastest lap of a 2:06.2. I don't think free practice will have much to go by for qualifying. The session should dry up by that time. So Stephen Mccaffrey coming around into the last 2 turns now. Saying that McLaren is going to struggle in the wet conditions around here, especially with his electronic brake balance. So Stephen Mccaffrey comes across the line and does a 2:05.765. So the fastest lap for him. Again, I would not take any of these times as the golden time. As we do say, it should be on the drier side when we go into qualifying. So hopefully the guys and girls can see those few adjustments that will happen over the time schedule. What we'll do is we'll have a quick look at our current standings in the championship. We have Celine Witcher in first with 93 points, Heike Sherman in second and 70 points, Stephen Mccaffrey in third on 48, Jarosław Galkov with 43, Natalie Lee in her KTM, she has 40 points, Kenneth Stepp sitting on 24 points in 6th, 7th place Callum McLeod with 10 points, Chris Generelli also in 7th with 10 points. Woods Van Merck, he is in P9 and 6 points. Alex Lafros, who is with us today, he's on 6 points. And then unfortunately Devon Booth, Rennie Garcia, Ola Snarkvist and Cal do not have points in the championship as we speak. But that will all change again after today's race, so we'll get back over and keep looking at how they're doing in free practice. Track definitely on the wet side. I'm not going to like how wet it is, but again, weather will be getting better over the session. So see Joseph Galkov, he's making his way into pit lane. So see Alex Lafos in his Mercedes, see how he's getting on. Currently P3 with 210. 5 seconds off pace, but again, do not expect this to be overall times. Psycho Schumann, he's coming out now. Deadman, the thing is, it's only going to be raining in game for the next half an hour. Obviously, the next session doesn't start until the hour after, so it does look like it's going to be drying up for the rest of the session. But the track will be wet for them to start with and start qualifying, so we'll have to see how it is. It could be that we even have a damp start of the track when we get going in the race, and then it'd be drying up over the session. So tyre pressures are going to come massively into play here. So we see Alex Lafos go very deep into the wall, unfortunately for him. So we now look over at Heike Schumann. As he is out on track. Just having a look at what cameras we are running today. So we do have some of the cameras that didn't want, unfortunately, but we do have our trusted onboard camera from the dash from the roll cage. There's something that you're not able to make it out on track, kind of. There is still plenty of time for you to join. You can join in qualifying if needed. So now look from the helmet cam, okay. So Heike not using all of the exit of the corner there. But he's now on his first actual lap. He hit a big Camaro Ken behind him there. Ken running wide, he's off track, so his lap is dirtied. But again, this is only free practice, so that doesn't matter. Bloodwolf, if you look though, it's going to dry up over qualifying and possibly even the race. We will have to see when we go into the race session of what the weather is going to be like. But qualifying, you should be in a green to damp track, because the rain does end in at 30, well, should be now the next 20 to 30 minutes game. It should be drying up. Heike having a big slide there, trying to use the weight of the Porsche to get it around the corner there. Callum, you said rain makes the man, but you're not even driving, so you definitely are a girl. But saying that, we have Celine out there, and she's currently P2 on the track, so can't even call you a girl, Deadman. It might dry up. It's going to dry up over qualifying, but it could start pouring down with rain again. As Heiko jumps himself up into third place. Heiko just plows off. Always expect the unexpected, exactly that then, Red Wolf. Steve Mccaffrey. Dump it right there. So the only person who should be out on a line is Joseph Galkov, who's just put a new fastest lap in, just as the timer changes. It doesn't look like there's an optimal line at the moment, Terry, but the rain is stopping. As we join the server, there's 8 o'clock. Hi Barney! How you doing, buddy? I'll be on with Squid after the stream tonight, so thank you for popping in, buddy. Bloodwolf, yeah, if you message me and that, I'll get your livery updated to what you would like it to be. As we go wide, and we're in 2, 3, well, it's back into qualifying now, and it still looks like it's going to be wet, so I'm just going to pop into game and see how the weather looks. The rain is getting heavier, so this is going to be interesting. This looks like it's going to be a very, very wet one for the guys. So it did stop raining, but it has continued to rain. So this is going to be an interesting one. Then we know for a fact you have ACC. You're not waiting for the PS7 version. So current points leader, Celine Witcher, she's coming out on track. So the rain is definitely going to throw something into the mix, because if it dries up during the middle of the race, the guys are going to have to switch onto those dry tyres. And don't forget, we do have that pit window where they will have to change tyres. Are they going to be able to get away with it in that window time? We'll have to wait and see. But we're going to bring out their qualifying the best laps after they've done their first laps. So the best laps will show up as they show there. Actually, let's change it from car numbers. We don't need the car numbers right now. Let's go to the personal best in that slot. And bring up their best deltas behind. So the blacked out number will mean that the lap is off dirty. When it's white, and if it's sitting as it is at the moment, there'll be a dead equal time. If it's red, it means they're slower. Green, it means they'll be faster. Oh, Joseph Galkov losing it in the final corner as he gets onto the straight. So that's not going to be a good way to start his lap. So the first one who's going to start a lap is Alex Lafros. Let's see how he does. Heiko Sherman has left the server. I don't know if it might have had a disconnect or any type of other issues. We will have to wait and see if he'd be able to reconnect. It's very deep into turn one. Again, the first laps times are going to be inactive, so don't worry about the first laps. As you see, Celine's best lap is currently at the moment is 8 minutes time. So that doesn't matter. Again, all that matters is that first lap. Catch you later, Barney. Have fun with Squid. Let him know I will be there later on. And there we go. Heiko Sherman has returned to the server. So definitely seems some sort of connection issue there for him. Just checking. Selected one. So, first actual lap time coming in. Well, she's still no actual lap time set yet. One here for Celine. So a 2:04.370 for Celine. That is our current pole sitting time. Can she get the car slowed down enough for turn one? She does. Runs a little bit wide though. Does look like she's dirtied her lap. No, unfortunately. Ken with a 2:12. Not fancying the wet in that Camaro. Stephen Mccaffrey, he's coming around in the last two corners as we speak to get his first lap. So he's just going on to a lap as we speak. So, do you have a bit of time now to see our next car who is on a lap? And it will be Joseph Galkov. As he's in the final two corners now. He will be on a wind-up lap now, so he will be getting going this lap. I do believe. So yes, he's just starting a lap now. So Alex Lafrost, what's this lap time? A 2:10.57. New laps time by Celine at 2:04.240. Really putting her lap times out there. Canesta, he's up by quite a lot of time right now. But I don't think his lap is clean, unfortunately. We'll have to wait and see. And it is clean lap. So 2:10. So only 5 tenths off now of Alex Lafros. So Ken's bring it back to pit lane. We will switch over to Steve Mccaffrey. He's coming in for his final sector now. Coming out the final turn. This will be his first representative lap. And it is no, he did not, so he dirtied his lap. At some point he went off circuit to unfortunately make his lap not valid. Next card to go across the line will be Jaroslav Galkov. Has he been able to do a clean full lap? We will have to wait and see. See where he puts that McLaren. Again, no clean lap yet from him. So unfortunately his lap was dirty, but his last lap was a 203.69. Would have put him into first place. So it is still Celine Witcher out in front. Alex Lafros. Let's get it on that rumble ship. Threw him into the wall, unfortunately for him. So we look over at Mr. Heiko Sherman. I believe he is on a out lap. I'm not 100% sure. This could be his first flying lap. So, current champion, back-to-back European champion. Oh, I could drop it in the grass slightly there. So that lap was an out lap for him. But we are seeing Jaroslav Galkov. Is he going to set a new fastest lap? Yes, Terry Crouch, you are our GT American champion. And he does go faster. 9/10 of a second faster than Celine Witcher with a 203.302. That's a very good lap from him. Celine coming across the line. Her lap was down. Last lap was a 205. Must have made a few little mistakes. See Mr. Ken Estep in the Skynet Simpit Racing Camaro. So Ken now back on a lap. We were looking at Stephen Mccaffrey as he's come around to the finish, but he's just starting a new fast lap. Person who is on a lap, I do believe, is Heiko Sherman. So we'll see where his lap time puts him. Max Lafros is off on track again. He's towed back to the pits. Heiko Sherman puts himself in third with a 208.9. Heiko, more than even 4 seconds off of the lead. Going very deep into turn 1. Heiko just not getting on with the wet weather, it looks like. Jaroslav Galkov. He looks like he is relishing this wet weather and absolutely loving it. Cecily coming down on her time. Looks like she's getting a little bit out of the corner, but I don't think she's gained enough. No, it's 204.4, so 2 tenths off her best lap time. Mccaffrey, he's coming around. So this will be his first flying lap as he is Ken Estep currently sitting 1 second faster than his current best. This will put him P4. And if he gets a good drive coming out this corner, he can even push down Heiko Sherman. A bit too tentative coming out the corner there. But he does move himself up into 4th place. Machines definitely do not do well in the water, it looks like, as Heiko is back in the pits again. It's not leaving him much time to get around, set another lap time. Ken Estep, if you look, it's only, what, just under a second behind. Ken there unfortunately did dirty his lap. So, Miles Ken, I'm just taking time now, just get it ready. Build it back up and send it again. Next season, guys, this is something I haven't informed anyone of yet. Next season we'll be using real weather, so the weather will be changed to whatever the race time is and what it is going to be that day at the circuits. So it will definitely keep you on top of your toes, so test during the day, test during the night, test during the wet, and test during the dry, because you will need it, because the weather will be getting changed around within 3 hours of a race start, so do keep an eye on that. So, Ken Estep, can he push Heiko down into 4th? Stephen Mccaffrey does get a lap time in and goes into 3rd. He's on 204.7 now. Can just get a little bit too much understeer in that first corner. He's ruined that lap. And that's going to call an end to his qualifying. He would need to stay out to get another lap in. Celine Richard, current championship points leader. What can she do? See just how much wet water is getting lifted by the tyres on these cars. So, last 2 flying laps for Celine. What can she put out? This Heiko is literally just come out in front of Celine. Celine's going to call it a time. So, Jaroslav Galkov. He's just finishing an out lap. This will be his final flying lap. Can he go even faster? He's down time. Give him this helmet down now. Axelaffos, he's starting to come across to start a new lap. Steve Mccaffrey, he's up on his time. See Axelaffos, he's in turn 1. Okay, all greens for him. What can Heiko do? He's just about to start his final lap. Stephen Mccaffrey, he is up a lot on his time. And he's coming into the final sector now. Into the final corner. He's up massively on his time, and so is Heiko. Stephen Mccaffrey getting a little bit loose, just keeping it together though. So Joseph Galkov, Celine Witcher, so Stephen Mccaffrey and Heiko Sherman are on one more lap. So we'll switch over to Heiko Sherman. So he comes through turn 5, big slide from Heiko. Taking a little bit too much speed in again. Just loses it through the second part of that chicane, but look at his time, he's still gaining massively here. But unfortunately he is 4 seconds off the pace from the top guys and girl. Steve Mccaffrey, I think he's called his lap because he's now slowing massively. Heiko has really got to nail this lap now. All or nothing on the exit now. Still gaining. Unfortunately, it's not enough. Heiko Sherman is going to start in at P4. Steve Mccaffrey, he has definitely backed off of his lap. So it is going to be Joseph Galkov, Celine Witcher, Stephen Mccaffrey, Heiko Sherman, your main parts of your grid. So the rain is going to increase, and in the half-hour mark, it is going to start dropping off. I can't put a message into chat, so I'm going to jump into one of the voice chats very, very quickly and let drivers know. Well, unfortunately, I can't do that. There's no drivers available in there, but we will look at the standings whilst we are sitting on the grid. So again, Celine Witcher is our current points leader from Heiko Sherman, Stephen Mccaffrey in 3rd, Joseph Galkov 4th. That can all get changed today considering how we are sitting. Budgie, good luck buddy. Rain is looking like it's going to get a little bit heavier in 10 minutes, but in the half-hour mark then it starts to get less. Rain was only expected to only be a little bit if it's going to happen, and unfortunately it does look like it has come down. There was a slim chance of rain. There's only a 20% chance of rain over the entire weekend, and unfortunately it looks like it's all come on the Sunday. What do you say that? But last race you did absolutely amazing in rain. So let's see if you can get a repeat performance of that. So I'll go over our grid one more time before we get going. So Joseph Galkov got pole, Celine Witcher second, Stephen McCaffrey in third, Heiko Schumann fourth, Ken Estep fifth, Alex Lafros bringing up the rear in sixth. So still missing quite a lot of our grid, unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately, it is only 6 cars who have made it today. We are missing quite a few. Terry, that was the current championship standings. I'll bring that back up so you can have a look. So Celine Witcher is our championship leader at the moment. Heiko Schumann second, Steve McCaffrey third, Jaroslav Galkov fourth, Natalie Lee, who's not here today, she's in fifth, Ken Estep in sixth, Callum McLeod, he's not here today, he's in seventh, so is Chris Generelli, Roots from Murik, he's not here, Alex Lafros is not here, Devon Booth, Rennie Garcia, Ola and Carl are still not to show up through the season. So this is one of our newest overlays. This gets updated after every single race. So this is something I've put together myself for the season. As we hear the cars now firing up on grid, that means there's 30 seconds left to go. That means in a second I will be able to type in game. Got 10 seconds. As you can see up here, it's going to be raining now, getting heavier in the 10-minute mark. In half hour it will start to reduce rain. So we see driver's lights are going on. So there's only a 1 km/h wind, so I do believe it does look like it's going to get a bit weird. Terry, I need someone who can edit videos properly. I'm struggling with it left, right and centre, unfortunately. I need an Amir. I need an Amir to help me. Oh. So drivers are on a full formation lap. There'll be all that information that we need for you. So we still have our mandatory pit even though it's raining. Alex Lafros, if you can hear me, if you are still here can you make sure you put your full lights on, including rain light, please? Unfortunately, I cannot see your rain light. So we're coming to 2 wide very shortly. So we're going 2 wide now. You see as cars break formation to get into 2 wide. So as we start, come down towards, there's a false pit in there, going up McKenna step. We'll put a poll up in the chat. Are we going to see a new winner today? Or is it going to be Celine or Heiko yet again? But here we go. We're going to come down into turn 1. Looks like Heiko has got pass budget at the moment. Heiko, is that contact with Celine? There was some contact between those two. We'll have a look back at that any moment now. Yeah, let's hope Jaroslav can keep it together today. Celine Richard is right behind him. Knesset and Alex Lafros have had a position change. Steve Mccaffrey is right behind. Tiger Sherman. Let's have a look at that first lap incident. Oh, just a little touch there from Heiko. Neither driver gained positions or anything, so no advantage gained or lost. So Terry's money is on Celine to take the win. Jaroslav Galkov there already has a 1 second lead. But the rain is going to die down over the session. I should say, sorry. So Galkov puts a 2:09.6. Obviously, that lap will get absolutely smashed this lap, hopefully. As we see in the background there, Stephen Mccaffrey. He diving on Heiko Sherman and getting the position. Is he going to get a good run out though? Is Heiko going to be able to come around the outside down into turn 3? No, yeah, he has made the pass. He has made it stick. So, out in front, still Jaroslav Galkov from Celine Richard. Steve McCaffrey now into 3rd. Look, can he close that 3-second gap down to Celine? We'll have to wait and see. But again, it's all going to come down to these pit stops, I do believe. Especially with possibility of changing weather. I don't believe we've got enough cars going around to make a dry line if it stops racing at the half-hour mark. As Alex Lafros, he's put it into the wall. That's a lot of front-end damage there on that Mercedes, and unfortunately you just can't get the car back in a straight line. So that's a big shame for him. Quite a way back now, nearly 30 seconds to Ken Estep. So that's new, there we go, that's the fast lap, 204.675. Steve McCaffrey has gone off in turn 1 there. Does that let Heiko back up the inside? It has, but is Stephen going to take the place back here in turn 3? Heiko's gone on the wide line. Just gonna get tight through turn 4. McCaffrey sticking on the outside. Very brave. Turn 5. It's the horrible corner here on Gyro Ring. And he does keep the position. So, a lot of battling going on here between the Porsches. I think that might have been him just gone over the rumble strip a little bit. I've got the car loose for him. Just having a look on my screens, there was no contact between the two drivers, so Heiko did pay attention to it. Unfortunately, it does mean that Steve Mccaffrey is still out in front of Heiko Sherman. Currently only have one case of contact. Alex Lafros, not again, I believe that's a false yellow flag as he is moving still. But these two now have dropped back considerably from the front two, but again, Jaroslav Galkov pulling away even more now, 2.3 seconds from Salim. Four tenths of a lap faster than that time around for Jaroslav. The more these drivers plow around, they should start pushing a slightly drier line. But with only 6 cars going around, that is still going to be very, very difficult for them to make a dry line. But we look up front at Jaroslav Galkov. The first fastest sector. Let's look back at Steve Mccaffrey. Probably his on board. Just coming into the tight chicane. Running it nicely. Looks like Heiko got a little bit caught up in it there. Very tight technical track, this one. Lots of push understeer. Remember a while back taking part in Jimmy Broadbent and Jardia's 8 hours of suffering around this track in mixed conditions with GT3s and GT4s. I can say now it was not very nice. But Alex Lafros did come in to fix his damage. Unfortunately for him, it's nearly a whole pit stop's worth of damage. He was stationary for 28.1 seconds. Jaroslav Galkov putting in another fastest lap in. 204.545. Extending his lead now to nearly 3.5 seconds over Salim. This is the only full battle on circuit right now. So light rain in half an hour now, showing. I think by the end of this race we are going to be in the dry. We will have to have a look at what the weather looks like whilst we're in the pits. But the rain is starting to die down. It will aggressively dry down in the next 10 minutes. But out in front is Jaroslav Galkov, pulling away from Celine Witcher in her Aston Martin. Current point standing lead. Unfortunately, commentating solo is very difficult. I wish I could have someone else in the booth with me. I'm trying to get other people to help me and come along, because then also we could do a lot more with the communications of track rules and track communications to the drivers. So Joseph Galkov coming across the line again. Less than a tenth off his best. Celine losing more time. Nearly 5 seconds back. Stephen Mccaffrey though, he punches in the new fastest lap of the race. 2:04.3. That is 3 tenths up faster than Jaroslav Galkov. Can he be the dark horse? Can he come around, chase this pack down and take over from the butt again? We're going to have to see what everyone's like through the pit stops phase. Heiko getting very loose in his Porsche. See Mccaffrey now closing on Celine Witcher. Getting a handful of oversteer there. It'll cost them a little bit of time. But look at the lead Jaroslav Galkov's got now. Nearly a 7-second lead within the first 15 minutes of the race. I think the pole's going to be wrong, guys. And again, are we going to see a new winner today? We currently have Celine Witcher on 3 wins, Heiko Sherman on 4 wins. This is round 5. Are we going to see a new winner of a race this time round? Unfortunately, you can see Alex Lafros not far in front of Jaroslav Galkov with his few incidents and his trip to the pits to fix his damage. Drivers are allowed to flash him to give him a heads up that there is the leaders coming up behind him. But Heiko Sherman has caught right back up to Stephen Mccaffrey now. Has Stephen made a mistake, or has Heiko just found the grip all of a sudden? So, could Heiko be back in this fight? So it gave us the camera, but not from the right car though, unfortunately. Stephen Mccaffrey getting a little bit very dangerous playing with rumble strip and grass in this conditions. So again, next season GT America and GT European will have real weather calculated on how the event is, what day it is, the track conditions at that precise moment in time. We will be looking at real life weather data to take that in. Ken Estep, unfortunately, looks like he's made a mistake. Looks like he lost at the same place as Alex Lafros did. shape from him, but out in front, Jaroslav Galkov's now put a lap on to. Sorry, Jaroslav Galkov's put a lap onto Alex Lafros. Look at the gap Jaroslav Galkov has over Celine Witcher, just over now, 15 minutes into the session. It's a very large gap to have in such a short amount of time. Heiko Sherman falling back massively there from Stephen Mccaffrey. Did Heiko just have a small off into turn 1? So, Steve McCaffrey now very, very close to Celine Witcher. This really does have championship implications, because this is going to put Stephen right in the capabilities of, in the final part of the season, coming back for a chance to win this championship. Stephen McCaffrey, look at this, a 2:04.1. Closest person to him on lap time is Jaroslav Galkov with a 2:04.5. So 4/10 of a second faster than our current leader. This is going to get interesting over the race distance. Drivers are going to have to watch over their tyre pressures, because if they're going to use the same tyre pressures in the pit stop as they are right now, I do believe they're going to start overheating those tyres slowly but surely, as the lap times will start to creep down more and more. As you can see, there is a slight line building now. So they're coming up now to lap Alex Lafros. Is this going to play into the hands of Steve McCaffrey? He's all over the back of Celine now. Celine does give Heiko Alex the heads up of flashing his lights. Blue flags are out for him as well. Alex just takes the safest, just goes wide in that turn there just to let them by. It's Jaroslav Galkov from Russia in P1, Celine Witcher from Canada in P2, Stephen McCaffrey from Great Britain in P3, Heiko Sherman from Germany in P4, Ken Estep from America in P5, and bringing up, unfortunately, last is Alex Lafros from the Netherlands. Heiko showing slow. Looks like he's had another mistake in turn 1. And this is the battle. Look at this now. Steve McCaffrey's all over the back of Celine. But this battle here has now let Jaroslav Galkov completely go. 10-second lead. We will have to see how he does. Can he keep it together? Can he keep the car in a straight? And now for the whole race. Is the pit stop going to mess him up? Is the pit stop going to mess Celine, Stephen, Heiko, or anyone else up? We will have to wait and see. Pit window is now open in 4 minutes time. So in 2 or 3 laps time, we should see people starting to make their way in. But Jaroslav Galkov absolutely running away with our lead here. So Steve Mccaffrey, if you notice, going wider into the entry just to trying to get the better pull out of the corner. Just hoping the toe doesn't make him mess up into turn 1. No, landing it nice. Maybe backed off a little bit there. Lost a little bit of time. We are 3 minutes away now from pit open. Track does get darker. Race should finish at 8 PM local time in game. Mccaffrey there. Looks like he got onto the brakes a little bit earlier, but look at Celine. Celine went deep. Can Steve McCaffrey put it around the outside? Things are definitely getting interesting between these two. As Jaroslav Galkov puts a new fast lap of 203.9. Absolutely showing that this is his race to lose. Steve Mccaffrey did look up the inside into turn 1. Thought better of it. Again, looking for that better run off. And here it comes. Celine went too wide, went onto the rumble strip. Position has changed on our timing screens, but she's going to dive late on the brakes. See, Mccaffrey does look like he's just trying to hold the better line overall through the track. Coming up to the treacherous turn 5. Steve McCaffrey looking. Trying to make it defend on the inside so she gets a better line out the corner. Oh, getting very close there. So pits open in 51 seconds, as I say. So I do believe maybe the back markers will be the first to come in, but with this changing of weather, I would want to leave this as late as possible. As these two come along the start strip, we will look in game and see how the weather report is doing. Unfortunately, that is one of the things I cannot see externally. I can only see what the current temperatures are. What is 18 degrees air and track temp. See, just did have a little bubble there. Still trying his wide line. Joseph Galkov puts yet another fast lap in. A 2:03.8 now. Rain stops just before we finish the end of this race. Rain is going to stop just before the end of the race. But it is going to be wet all the way up to it. Rain is going to still be increasing all the way up. Yes, unfortunately those big buffs happen unfortunately when I do have to look into the in-game. I do apologise for that. This is where I would love a secondary person to be in-game so they could keep an eye on all the in-game geometries of everything that's going on, lap times, weather performance, and be able to give that information. Whilst I'm able to focus then on the lap battles and use these overlays for you. I have done stuff to my hard drives, I've done stuff to my CPU, all to try to compensate those issues. But it just looks like it is an issue with ACC itself. When you're using through Streamlabs OBS, as soon as you're looking at through the actual in-game, it does lag. So I am actually looking at the race myself through my Streamlabs OBS, not through the game itself. So Stephen Mccaffrey looking for a place where now he can get an opportunity to take this position from Celine. He is starting to drop back now. Gap from literally him being side by side to now 1.8 seconds behind. But the big shocker there is Heiko Schumann 17 seconds off of P3. And Jaroslav Galkov 13.5 seconds in front of Celine Witcher here. Track is definitely getting darker now. So at the moment, the poll is still saying that Celine or Heiko is going to take the win. We're not going to see a new winner, but at the moment, Jaroslav Galkov is 13.5 seconds in front of Celine Witcher. We are in the pit stop phase, as Ken Estup and Alex Lafros are in the pits. Remember, Alex Lafros has already unfortunately had to take one pit stop. Yeah, I did see, unfortunately, for you Blood Wolf, that was an unfortunate mistake. Track does look like it's drying up though, so lap times are starting to fall. Keep going, Alex. You're definitely will gain points from taking part in today. So if you don't forget any retirements, the game does not give out the points properly. As you see, Alex Lafros' pit has cleared. Jaroslav Galkov obviously hasn't took his pit stop yet, but it looks like he's going to come around now to put second on. Stephen Mccaffrey, there you go, back on the fastest lap with a 2:03.408, 480. So he is showing that he is trying to push. Heiko Schumann, he is now in the pit lane. We're going to have one quick little look. Alex Lafros, stop go 30, that will be for speed in pit lane as again. We will be lagging very shortly for a second. Let's see if we go in game. And let's stop that drive through. So Kenneth pit was clear and successful. We have put the official penalties that we are running in. That's another thing, me having to jump out and do penalties and stuff. This is why I want someone else to join me alongside, just to make this a little bit more easier. But up at front, see Mccaffrey still closing back in now onto Celine. Only a few more minutes left. There was only a very small chance of rain, so we will have to see, as Steve Mccaffrey is going to dive into the pits to get his pit stop early. By the end of this race though, Joe, we should be in dry running, but the track will be still wet. Oh, excuse me. So guys, don't forget there is a poll open. Are we going to see a new winner today? Current winners are Celine Witcher and Heiko Schuerman. Celine's got 3 wins, Heiko's got 1 win, but Jaroslav Galkov, as you can see, has a 14.5 second gap to Celine, who's in P2 as we speak. Just coming around Alex Lafros, who again does look like he has got some more front end damage. So I'll bring the poll to a close with the last 5 minutes of the race. Steve Mccaffrey is in pit lane. Heiko Schuerman is out of pits. So when Steve Mccaffrey comes out of pit lane, we will see how he's done. A little bit slow in pits. But now, can he capitalise as he has now exit pit lane? Just check it again to see if there's any issues. So I do apologise for the stutter. It will happen in the stream. As current leader, Jaroslav Galkov is coming into pit lane. Nicely on the pit limiter before the pits. And Celine Witcher, she's now in pit lane. So, where is Stephen Mccaffrey? Can run turn 6. Is he going to be able to come out in front of Celine? You'll have to wait and see. Going to be tight. All depends on her pit stop. And very big slide there from Stephen. It has shown that Celine and Jaroslav have swapped positions, but that is only because where the boxes are in the pits. So that means Celine was still on the move as we're coming down into the final 3 turns now for Stephen. Can Stephen take the lead? It is possible. Jaroslav Galkov is out the pit, so he's not going to take the lead. It would have been a major big ask, and also Jaroslav would have had to mess up in the pit lane for all that to happen. But this is the battle we're looking for. Is Celine moving? She's just on the roll now. Out of pit lane. She's out of pit lane. Getting back up to speed. Joseph. Yeah, Blood Wolf, I don't blame you. This track is a nightmare. Unfortunately, seeing you in the pits yet again. That's your third stop today. Your pit obviously will have that 15-second time penalty involved now. But all drivers have now served their mandatory pit. So it's now a race to the end. Heiko Sherman does have damage to the front of his Porsche. I do not know when that occurred for him. That's Stephen Mccaffrey. Look at the time he lost in the pits. Nearly 4 seconds. He was stationary for just a little bit too long and on pit road for a little bit longer than Celine. Looking through the data now, if Stephen Mccaffrey is as fast as he was, he will be able to catch back up, but he lost all those 4 seconds in the pits. So if he had a cleaner pit stop, he would have been right with Celine, or even just beyond Celine. But he is only 3.1 seconds behind and catching fast. There will be an advantage of having his tyres up to temperature and up to pressure. Don't forget, GT4s do not have tyre blanking, so this is going to get interesting. Heiko Sherman flashing his lights out as he's coming past Alex Lafros. So the weather has started to ease off even more now. But the night time is rolling in as well, so let's have a look at what the weather's like in game very quickly. Rain stops in 10 minutes. Inside the next 10 minutes, the rain will stop. Hopefully everyone's got the tyre pressures correct. Joseph Gaukov, 17 seconds in front of P2, having a very clean race for him. It's very good to see him, as he's had the chance to win 2 races already this season. Unfortunately, a few odd mistakes unfortunately has took him out of those. Stephen Mccaffrey hunting down the Aston Martin of Celine as we come in to the final sector. Little oversteer. Cost him a little bit more time to Celine. Mccaffrey looks like he's now trying to find extra moisture. Maybe his tyres are starting to overheat. But either way, doing a very good job this race. So we are going to end the poll with 20 minutes remaining. No to a new winner, but the thing is, I do believe that we're going to see a new winner. Gotta go by their race numbers, okay guys, for this one, so we are going through. Unfortunately, it is only giving me the top 4. So, driver of the day is up as well. Steve Mccaffrey, there you go. Another new fastest lap for him, a 2:02.865. Can he keep this pace going up? Can he catch Salim? But both of them are definitely not going to catch Joseph Galkov unless he has a major issue. So this is going to be a fight for P2, I do believe. No, we're actually going to change the pole, so ignore the final lap pole. So, new pole. This is the one I should have done, not drive of the day, really. Can Stephen McCaffrey pass Slim Witcher before the end of the race? The last lap would say no. He dropped 0.6 of a second to Slim. But by average bar per lap, he is doing better. So one vote for no, he will not catch Salim before the end. He's only 1.8 seconds back. You can see him on that mirror. And we can see from Stephen's car, Salim just in front. He's gone wide. That may have cost him it. Chat, you may be right. He's not going to get past. So, very mixed conditions for our drivers. We had a wet free practice that was drying out. Then we came into qualifying that was getting... It looked like it was going to be dry, and then the rain came back between the practice and the qualifying session, and it was getting heavier. And now in the race, the rain has got heavier at the start, and then it started dying off all the way through up until now, and we are now in the start of early night in the game as well. The track has got a lot darker since the start. Salim Witcher with a new fastest lap, a 2:02.7, but Stephen McCaffrey, unfortunately, with his dirty lap, his laptop doesn't count. but he did a 2:02.39. Can he put that lap time in and make it stick? We'll have to see. But again, is he going to get past Salim before the end of today's race? Heiko Sherman, I believe, would be screaming at Stephen saying, get past Salim as fast as you physically can, just so he doesn't lose even more points to her in the championship. Remember, standings are as followed. Celine Witcher, 93 points. Heiko, 70 points. Steve Mccaffrey, 48 points. Jaroslav Galkov, 43 points. He's going to get a big handful of points from today's race. Natalie Leach, he's not here today. She's on 40 points. Ken Estep, he is here. 24 points. Callum McLeod, Chris Generetti, Wouter Valmerk, Alex Lafros bring up the top 10. And then Devon Booth, Freddie Garcia, Ola Snarkvist, and Cal L bringing up the rear in the points. But the gap is still continuing to close now. Under 2 seconds. Again, can he continue to gain the time? Just getting a little bit loose again, losing 2/10 easily there. Like he lost a lot of time just from that corner alone. So come across the line. Celine a new fastest lap again. 2:02.6 from Stevens, 2:03.3. Celine now really starting to nail these lap times out. So I'm going to look into game one last time. The track is now damp. There is no longer rain. There's no longer a wet circuit. It's a damp track. So, did Celine get her tyre pressures right? Stephen Mccaffrey, he does look like he's going to have to start searching for wet parts of the track now to cool his tyres down. You see that dry line is already starting to come out. But look at Jaroslav Galkov. It's absolutely cruising to the end, but he must have had some sort of issue. As Celine is only 5.4 seconds away from Jaroslav. Is Jaroslav having to slow to save fuel, or did he have some sort of issue? They are catching him very quick now. Steve McCaffrey. Stephen McCaffrey is pitting out of third place. I can't see why he'd be pitting for. This gives Heiko Sherman third place, I believe. Heiko is in range. So whoever said in chat, put your hand up. Who was it who said Stephen McCaffrey is not going to take the position away from Celine? Let it be known. So now, can Celine catch these 5 seconds up to Jaroslav in the last 10 minutes? What a change of events it is here. With 10 minutes to go, I would have dragged those tyres out as long as possible. Wets to dries is the best way for the wet tyres. The tyres can hold a lot of strength in them. Stephen Mccaffrey, they just come out on track now. And look at the gap to Heiko. 40 seconds to Heiko. I think he's gone on to dry tyres, but the track is a little bit too wet still. But we look back up front, Jaroslav Gaukov, 5-second lead to Celine Witcher. As you can see, look at Jaroslav now going all the way wide, trying to find the moisture on the track. There you go, Celine, look at her, diving to the inside, looking at the pit wall. Trying to find the moisture just to keep the tyres cool. And look at the time, she's gaining left, right and centre here. Both are in the 202s. I think Stephen Mccaffrey has made a massive mistake here by switching tyres. I believe he must have switched on to dry tyres. Coming in too early, and I wouldn't even bother taking another pit stop myself personally. This is times where you can use the offline now to use the moisture that's still on the track. The temperature in the tyres will definitely be increasing, the pressures will be increasing heavily. As long as they can keep the car gripped to the track, that's all that matters. Definitely, everyone's tyres will definitely be outside of the operating window now, what they need to be, but I don't believe the switchover point is now. We'll have to have a look at Stephen Mccaffrey's last lap when he crosses the line next. Because at the moment, Celine and Jaroslav last laps were a 2:02.8 for Jaroslav and 2:02.5 for Celine. If Stephen Mccaffrey has got this right, it's going to be a miracle. But he is so far back from the other two, all three cars in front of him. He's not going to be able to gain this time back. The time is way too big. So we're 3:06 for Jaroslav, 2:02.4 for Celine. We've got a little while now to wait till Steve Mccaffrey gets around. He's only halfway through the lap. So unfortunately for him, he really has thrown a podium position out of the window here. Unless one of these three decides at the front to jump into pit lane, I don't think it's going to happen. But going back to our first poll of the day, when we had 3 votes saying, are we going to see a new winner today? 100% of you said no. That is still a capability. Celine is catching Jaroslav. 2.8 second lead over Celine. We are definitely now into the night here in Hungary. Just remember, we started this race in the day, 7 PM in game time. Is now nearly coming up to 8 o'clock in game. Sorry, it's just gone 8 o'clock in game. But Celine 2 seconds back. Celine is in fighting distance with roughly 3 laps left to go. This is really coming down to the wire between these two. There you go, Celine diving to the inside. 201.6. Stephen McCaffrey at 204. And tyres are on that switchover point. They're at the switchover point now as just up only comes. Looks like he got wide into turn 1. As we are catching up to Mr. Ken Estep for the first time. Can Ken come in and play into this battle? That is a possibility, but with 1 second gap now, 4 minutes remaining. Can Celine take a 4th win of the season? Or is Jaroslav Galkov going to take his first win and be able to hold off this charge that's coming up now? Track conditions has definitely switched to the more drier side now. As Celine is all over the back of Jaroslav Galkov. Looks up to the inside, thinks better of it. Now, does he go defensive? Celine's just going to stay behind. She does. Looks very smally to the inside. Doesn't push it. But now, can she get the drive around the outside? I do believe she'll wait for the front straight, using that moist patch of the track to help cool the tyres out at the same time. So, Celine goes very wide. I wonder if she'll get track limits for that one. She may have got a warning. She looks to the inside. And she's made the pass into turn 1. With literally 2 laps remaining. But look at Jaroslav, he's coming back on the inside. Contact between the two. No gain though between the two drivers. Celine is still out in front. Jaroslav, can he call this back? This is the fight we've been waiting for first and second over the entire season so far. Jaroslav running wide. The track has definitely dried up for these drivers now. Jaroslav, you cannot gain that position. You will be forced to give it back. He's still behind. Jaroslav getting his elbows out there a little bit too much. I think trying to gain an advantage by going off the track. May have been accidental, but he did try to keep it. So he's being very defensive now. So, just going on to the final lap of the race. Can Jaroslav take his first win? I don't think he is. He's 1 second ahead. Jaroslav flashing his lights. Still 1 more lap to go. Alex Lafros, unfortunately, again has had another incident. We are going to keep an eye on the front 2 here. Does look like Celine has now pulled the gap 1 second ahead. Can really start attacking because both have gone really wide. No track limits between each one though. Worst thing they can both do now is get a drive-through on the very final lap of the race. But I think Jaroslav has cooked his tyres. Didn't try to cool them down where Celine was cooling her tyres down. Timer has run out now. This, as we said, this was the final lap. Celine now 1.5 second lead. Unless she mess up miraculously in these last two corners, she will take the win. So Celine will come and take the win. An absolutely chaotic race between these drivers. Steve Mccaffrey, I don't know why he took that second pit stop, completely taking him out of the chance of even winning the race, because he was catching Celine. And Celine coming around in the end to take the win. Heiko Sherman, he's going to come home and take third place. That's good points for him. Could have done with Steve McCaffrey being up there though, to try to take some points off of Celine. Alex Lafros, I think he's just trying to get this car home. Really struggling in the Mercedes today, because the fireworks are going off that track. Steve McCaffrey, what could have been for him, unfortunately. Does look like he switched on to another set of tyres. That's a big shame for him. He comes home in fourth. Alex Lafros will be in sixth. I'm just waiting for Mr. Ken Estep to bring the final car home in P5. But wow, what a race all the way through. Celine, Heiko and Steve McCaffrey in a battle. The rain stops. Steve McCaffrey comes in for an extra stop, where everyone else has stayed out on track, costing him potentially a race win. But guys, we are finished for today. Congratulations to all the drivers. Bloodwolf, well done for putting through today, mate. Very, very hard. But congratulations to all drivers for getting through that one. It was another tough one. But bringing home the win today again was Celine Witcher from Jaroslav Galkov in the end. Heiko Schumann third, Stephen McCaffrey in fourth. First place Ken Estep and Alex Lafrops 2 laps down in P6. But guys, we will be back. Tyres got too hot. You should start searching for wet surface, mate. Unfortunately, that's the thing that happens during the switchovers. But we'll head now to next week, round 6. So guys, take care. We'll see you next time. See you later.